Well, it was a weekend just full of great finds. Well, welcome to Finding America. It is really nice to see you here. I have to say, I have been really looking forward to letting you know about some very exciting news about a new partner with Finding America. And honestly, I couldn't think of a better match with Finding America than this great American company, Allegiance Flag Supply. Well, Allegiance Flag Supply is a great company based in Charleston, South Carolina. And they make the highest quality American flags with American workers and 100% American materials. From their fabrics to the Vermont white ash wood they use to make the flagpoles, down to the very thread that holds that beautiful red, white, and blue together. Well, this company is run by patriots and the flags are sewn by American seamstresses. American seamstresses that they rehired after they lost their jobs when the textile businesses moved their operations overseas. Well, on top of all that, Allegiance Flag Supply also supports several nonprofit organizations that benefit military and service members. And they also offer a discount to military and first responders. And if you use the link provided down in the video description, every purchase that you make also helps to support this channel. Well, I can say, finally, a flag that's built to last, and one that we can really fly with pride. Now, I have two very nice hunts to share with you in this episode. And this past weekend, Chris was all tied up, so I knew I was going to be on my own metal detecting. Now, I had no new permissions lined up. I wasn't really sure where to go, and then I remembered an old yard. And I thought I'd really like to take my minelab Equinox 800 and the Coiltech 5x10 coil to that yard, as it had been really good to me in the past. But to be honest, of late, the signals have pretty much vanished. Well, I can say one thing. That Coiltech coil and the Equinox definitely woke that old lawn up. Well, first signal was the 22. And dug down about 6-7 inches and got myself a Wheatie. I'll tell you, it's not like the old days. Wheaties don't come along like all the time when you're out here hunting, and it's just always a welcome sight to me. And this is 1951 with a Denver mint mark, so very cool. And hey, there might be a piece of silver or interesting relics still left in this yard. Well, I was just searching along this old fallen tree, and I've hunted this area many a time, but I just got something, and I don't know if I just missed it or the coil helped, but I'll tell you what, I got something really darn cool. Never found one of these before. It's an old toy, which I love, but check it out. I did wipe it off, and I thought, wow, look at that. It is like an old toy wrench. Because not just any old toy wrench, a very famous brand of toy. Look at that, it's a Marks. This is actually a Marks toy wrench, and I can't wait to find out what set this came in, but it's in great shape, and more than likely going to be 30s, right in that era, maybe 40s, but that's awesome. To have it marked Marks is just killer. Well, this one was giving me a 15, and I have to tell you, it's pretty cool. I started pulling out pieces of harmonica reed plate, and I'm like, well, that's cool. Always a good sign of an old place. Of course, I know this place is old, but then I kept getting more signals, and check it out. There's an old pocket knife down there with a harmonica. So that's pretty cool. You gotta wonder if someone put their knife and harmonica down and forgot it. And it's just pretty neat. I can't say that I found those two together before, so I like it. Well, another nice signal. Pretty deep, got another old coin out of the yard, and this one's gonna be another Wheatie, but 44 Philadelphia mint. So, hey, one more old coin for the pouch. Well, I kind of singled out a bit of an iffy signal here, and I'm like, well, let's just go for it. I was just eking a high tone out every once in a while, and I just dug a bent nail that was doing the same thing pretty close by. So I wasn't expecting much, but man, I'm glad I dug this because it looks interesting. It's right here in the hole. That's how it landed. So I have no idea. Grab the camera. Ooh, it's pretty heavy. It's actually very heavy. All right, let's see what the, oh my. Get out. It's a marine insignia or some type. It's not a button. Oh, you know, that's a screw on. Yeah, this is a collar insignia or hat. Yes, World War I. Holy cow. You might remember I dug my very first Marine World War I greatcoat button not too long ago. And here I have another one. Look at that, it's got the encircled chain with the key and the sword, the eagle above it. And this is a very early one. This actually screws on to a threaded post. It's amazing it's still on there. And that would have gone on the collar or hat. I'll have to check when I get back, but holy cow, that is so awesome. World War I Marines. I tell you, that was not a great signal. Very cool. And hey, I don't know. I found it with that, but I've been over this ground a ton of times, so I'll give it some credit. Pretty darn awesome. Well, this one was giving me a nice solid 12. Kind of a little bit of a bigger signal, so I didn't think it was going to be a nickel. About 4 inches down, popped it out. It was something pretty large and pretty brittle too, but it is a cover for an old pocket watch. So I'm going to put it in my fragile box and we'll see if it's got any design on it later. It looks like it's just going to be a plain one, but still a cool find nonetheless. Well, this is a pretty cool find. I was getting like an 18. It was really deep. It ended up being about 9 inches. And I kept pulling out rusted nail after rusted nail, and I'm like, that can't be it. And then it flopped out, and it flopped out like that. Now, I brushed it off, but it came out this clean. But it's an old printing block, Typeset. And from what I can read with my backward writing skills, it says J.L. Mason V.Sec, like secretary. So pretty cool. Maybe I can find something out about that person with a little bit of research, but that is an awesome find. Always love finding these old typeset pieces. Well, I got a 14 signal here, and I dug down, popped out about 4 inches down, but it's actually very cool. It's half of an old key, but it's an original Ford key. And when I saw what was on the other side, I was like, yeah, this is cool. Because that logo right there, yeah, I think that's 1949, if I'm not mistaken. So very cool, and that's a neat piece right there. Well, as I was heading home after that hunt, I decided to make a few rounds in the neighborhood to see if I could get some new permissions. When lo and behold, someone was outside at a place that I've been trying to catch someone at for a very long time. I quickly parked and we started chatting a bit. And it wasn't very long before he graciously gave me permission to be able to hunt the grounds. As it was getting late in the day, I decided to return the next morning to hunt that grand old home that was built in 1921. And little did I know, that next morning, I was in for a very fun time metal detecting. Well, I got an incredible new permission. Hopefully it'll pan out. I was told that a couple guys have been metal detecting over the years here, but we'll see what we can find. And I can't really show you the place right now, but it's a massive brick. I would say it qualified as a mansion back in the day. Built in 1921, although this is one of the oldest streets in town, so there could have been something on this spot before then. So interesting place. And so far I got a memorial penny, a couple pieces of scrap metal, and this piece was a 19, dug down about 8 inches. I really never seen anything like this. It's metal, but it's kind of pop metal. As you can see, it's kind of deteriorated, but I don't know if I have no idea what it was. But it has threads right here, something screwed on, but pretty neat piece. Just thought I'd show it to you. Definitely old, and got a few signals, one high tone and this one that were left over for me, so that's always a good sign. So I was getting a 12 right here, about 4 inches down, and it said it was on my drop cloth, and I just flipped this plug over, and I think I have a button right there, right next to Lady Liberty. So probably a workwear. Yeah, it's in really good shape though. Wow, not overly rusty. But the question is, what kind of workwear do we have? Definitely has, a little hard to tell. I think there may be something on it. Do a little pants wipe. Yeah, you guys might be able to see a little better than I can right now. It could just be a plain one. Yeah, it looks like it. I'll clean it up more when I get home. There might be something on it, but I'll take a closer look at it. But that is a very nice condition button. Well, it does have something on it, and something very cool. An old locomotive train. Hopefully you can see that, but that is awesome. Been finding a lot of train buttons lately, and yeah, that's a great, probably went on a pair of overalls. Hey, you gotta love that. Well, got another 12 dug down. It was only an inch down, but it is a very old piece. It's going to be early 1900s. A master lock key with a lion on it. And let me turn my pinpointer off. But that's a great piece right there. I'll get that cleaned up. Very good looking key, and definitely dates back to the early days of this place. Well, I couldn't resist trying a bit of the Sidewalk Strip out. I was getting a 28. I just had to show this to you. It's an old outside mirror. Definitely seen better days, and yeah, definitely. Well, this one was giving me a 14. I popped the plug and check it out. A couple of keys sitting on top of each other. Hopefully they're old. They look like old GM keys. Matter of fact, It looks like door and ignition. Huh, pretty cool. Yeah, I don't think they're original GM, but I think they were replacement keys. And independent lock company. They're pretty old, definitely. Maybe 40s, right around that era. So very cool. I'll get them cleaned up, get you a better look at them. But that's a nice little find. Whoever lost them wasn't happy. They couldn't get in the doors or turn the car on. Well, just sort of kind of hopping around the yard, trying to get a feel for the place and see if I can find any hot spots. And I was coming down here next to some bulbs that are sprouting, and I got a 2829 signal. I was really surprised. And I was like, oh, please don't be a cloud quarter. But no, it isn't. It's something much larger and hopefully much more interesting. Look at the size of that sucker. I think I've got a token, and oh, you've got to be kidding me. Or wait a minute. Oh, it is a token. Look at that. Blue diamond, $1 token. Ooh, it is like heavy, heavy. I don't know, it's probably made out of brass. Holy cow. Yeah, it's the only thing I can see right now is the $1 denomination up top here, and then blue diamond. So let me get this rinsed off and scrubbed up. It's a heck of a cool token. And it's got a, see this diamond hole in the center? That is awesome. Blue diamond, diamond. Oh my gosh, guys. I thought it was going to be an aluminum token at first. Then I realized it was brass, and I should have known what this token was when I saw the diamond in the center. It wasn't blue diamond nuts. This is a $1 coil strip. Holy cow. Only my second coil strip ever. I recently got one a few months ago. You might remember that one. And I only dreamed of ever finding $1 coil strip, but it's $1 at the Blue Diamond Coal Company. And I'm trying to, I think it's Path Fork, Kentucky. I don't know, I'll have to get it cleaned up. But isn't that awesome? And you know what's even better? It's dated. It's actually got a date on it. Now these were only good at the company store. And you see the date there, 1945. And Orco was the system, the ones that made these tokens. And of course it says not transferable, available in merchandise only. Such a rare piece to find metal detecting. And I'm just so, oh, I'm thrilled. Totally thrilled. It's about the size of a $50. And these coal companies would also, they could specify if they wanted like a clover or a diamond or a square or a triangle, anything, all kinds of things stamped in the center. And of course, it makes sense that they went with the diamond since it was the Blue Diamond Coal Company. Wow, 1945. Oh, what a find. Now this is only the second piece of coal strip I've ever found metal detecting, and I was so surprised and so overjoyed that I found $1 denomination. That's the highest denomination of this coal strip, and it came from a mine called Path Fork that's located in Harlan County, Kentucky. Now the mine first opened in the year 1945, the very year on my token, and they continued mining it until 1951 when they finally shut it down. Well, by the time my coal strip was made in 1945, only 17% of U.S. coal mines were actually using company stores and coal strip. By the 1950s, the U.S. coal mining stores and their script had become a thing of the past and virtually vanished from the scene. Well, I'll tell you what, I just dug that coal token over here, and I came over here next to this holly tree. I love holly trees, but I hate detecting under them. it can get painful with the thorns on those leaves. But I got a 24 signal and I was like, ooh, not bad sounding. And I saw it and I thought, oh, well, I got a penny. But I don't. I think I have another token. Can you believe it? Look at that. Now that is probably going to be a trade stimulator token. It's kind of like a slot machine they would have had on the counter of all kinds of different businesses at the turn of the century. And they would give someone, they'd say, hey, put a nickel in there, see if you win something. And I think that's what it is, but let me get it cleaned off and I'll come right back. Well, let me tell you something. This is the best trade stimulator token I've ever found because it has a company name on it. It says the what is it? Oh, the Watling Fruit Gum Company, Chicago, Illinois. And this is a winning token. Now, they're a lot harder to find than the losing tokens, as you can imagine. But this one says good for 5-cent package of fruit gum. Or good for 5-cent fruit gum package. Ah, that is definitely the best one I've ever dug. Ooh, early 1900s, 5-cent pack of gum. Just killer. Absolutely awesome and beautiful condition too. Ah, love digging tokens. Okay, this is starting to be the treasure tree, this old holly tree. Coal strip there. Trade stimulator there. I worked my way around. We've got a really gusty, windy day, so hopefully it's not too bad right now. I came over here and got a 12 and I cut a plug, said it was still in under a root, and I popped something out. Now I don't know if it's a nickel. You see it right there. Could be another token, you never know. But we're gonna find out. It's old, whatever it is. I don't think it's a Jefferson. And whoa. I don't know. Oh, this wind's getting bad. I'll tell you what, let me get it cleaned up and I'll be right back. But I'm thinking V-nickel, but I need to get it cleaned up and I'll try to find somewhere where the wind isn't so bad. Well, I found a quiet spot behind a column at the house. So it might be a little echoey, but look at that. It is a V-nickel, 1900 on the dot. How awesome is that? She's pretty worn, but she's beautiful to me. That is so cool. Well, I am definitely going back to that old mansion very soon, and believe it or not, I got yet another very promising permission while I was there. Hopefully, I'll have another fun week of metal detecting coming up. And here's a look at all the very cool things that I was able to recover in this episode. Well, what I have coming up next just seemed to be very fitting for this particular episode, and I really hope you enjoy seeing them. And remember, it's history that makes a find a treasure, and I can't wait to see you back here next week on Finding America.